Alright guys, I'm gonna try and see if I can show you guys what I'm doing here. Probably gonna have to move the camera a little bit. Give it a second. Yeah, see right here. Pretty sure you guys can see that. Basically, what happened is nobody was making any exhaust for this CF Moto, this 800 MT, when I first got it, and I'm not big on weight, and so I made my own. This is the muffler. This is a whatchamacallit, an Akrapovich off of an old first gen R1, and it was a little beat up when I got it, but I had some scratches and I had a crack right back here, you know, right in this area. It wasn't too bad, but anyway, what I did was I took out the original cat on the bike because it was huge, really restrictive. This is the end that this pipe slides into right here. So I took one of these, right, and I screwed up and I stuck it in like this. I put bigger holes in it for more flow, but it kind of got the decibel level down where you know, I thought it would be tolerable for riding this thing into you know, state parks and, you know, wildlife areas and stuff like that. And then I could take it out and get a little more sound, which, you know, everybody's kind of got their own liking of that. But I'm sure you guys see where I screwed up, right? Exhaust goes in there, goes in, flows in like that, it hits the wall back here, has nowhere to go but straight out. So it was coming straight out into the side of this can, like here, and that's what burned this and kind of deformed that. And I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I tried to put it in, you know, the other way, and I was like, well, it doesn't fit that way, duh, like that. So I stuck it in this way, and in all actuality, it probably would have fit. No, it still wouldn't fit. It hits right there, but I could have shortened it. Anyway, I screwed up, and because of all that exhaust and heat, I went on a 2,000-mile road trip coming out like that, and it cooked it. And I'm surprised it made it all the way home. That's how tough this stuff is. You know, 85, 90 miles an hour, carrying 98 pounds of shit on the back of the bike. But it made it. You can see how this all turned blue right here because of the heat that it was generating right there. Cook this. So what I'm going to try and do is, and I've got, excuse the mess, I've got another project going on here. I'm converting a Jetty DS24 to single stick so that I can use it. Since my left arm is paralyzed over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just a little bit of a paperweight at this point. Been like that for about 26 years since I got out of the military. So what I'm going to do is I got some carbon fiber, 2x2 twill weave, and I'm going to reinforce it along the inside here, and I'm using the Total Boat epoxy. What is it? 2-to-1. So a 2x2 twill weave, and I'm going to reinforce it on the inside. Put a band around here, and then you can see where it's kind of deformed right here. So I'm going to put a small band. I'm going to try to match it up with the weave, but it's not going to be super important in the end, because I'm just not worried about the aesthetics of that in the long run. If I wouldn't have screwed it up, I wouldn't have this problem, but I did, so now I got to live with it to kind of build this up, this area around here, just a little bit. Can you open the garage door, bud? Not all the way. Huh? Oh, okay. And then Also have to reinforce this guy. See, it's delaminating. And I'm going to see if I can thin out the epoxy enough where it'll soak back in and kind of wet this back out so that it looks like, you know, like it originally did back here. And then, you know, I'm gonna do that kind of to try and get it to wet it out with just a brush. I'm gonna thin it out real good. I'm gonna remove this back section here out also. And then once I got it all wetted out, I'm gonna let it cure. Then I'm gonna sand it back down with probably like a 400 and see if I can remove most of what I put on there and get it smooth. And then I'm going to use a paint gun and I'm going to thin out some of that epoxy to about the consistency of clear coat. And I'm going to put like one wet coat on it and then let it dry and see what I got left. I can't put too much because if I make it too thick, this area right down here, when I go to put this band back on it, if you add too much, even just 2 coats of clear coat will be enough here that this band won't match back up on those holes when you wrap it back around it. So if I got to drill the holes out a little bit, that's fine, but I don't want to get too crazy. But I'm hoping to make it look, you know, fairly new again and get it back where it'll stop cracking in this area right here, because it, you know, I did a lot of damage when I screwed that up. So I'm going to try to wet this in so that it'll wick in to that to make it solid again, do the patch. So I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. I mixed up 4 grams of epoxy. It's a 2-to-1 mixture, like I said. 4 grams of epoxy, 2 grams hardener. And then I added lacquer thinner to thin it out to about the consistency of clear coat, plus maybe another 5%. It's pretty thin. It's about like milk. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it on the inside of here first to do the patch on the inside. Try not to make too much of a damn mess. I'm going to wet it out. Try not to put too much in there because it is going to wick through, because it's got almost no epoxy left in it because it got burned out. So I just don't want it leaking out the other side and making a mess on the table. And then I'm going to take that little patch I got, it doesn't need to be this wide, and I hate working with epoxy, man. I used to make my own molds and stuff, but it now I remember why I really hate it so damn much. It's pretty cool because you can make pretty much anything you can think up, but the problem is the mess. No matter how careful you are, it always seems to. And of course, having one freaking hand doesn't make it any easier. Can't have that on the end of it. I'm cutting it in half just because it's a little easier to work with. Just kind of part of the deal with the one-handed crap. Of course, it's best to wear gloves, but it's, you know, another thing that's kind of impossible for me to freaking do. Put on gloves with one hand. Look at that inside. Goes around. I'm gonna see if I can put a light behind the camera so you can kind of see in there a little bit. Kind of what's going on across the bottom there. I know it's not easy to see in there, guys, but then I'm going to come back and wet that out. Not too much. Like I say, you're not looking to make a damn swamp. You just want it to be fully, wet. And the best way to do this is not wipe. You want to kind of dab it like that, and that forces it into the weave. And this is a little bit of a kind of a tedious process because you can't move too fast. You gotta do some work, then you gotta let it dry, then you gotta do some work, then you gotta let it dry. Shift it on me. And you don't want it to be rough on the inside of here, because if it is rough, you're going to have to come back and sand it. Otherwise, your packing will be hanging up in there when you're trying to slide it through. And that just, you don't want that. It's kind of a pain in the butt. And if it does come out rough in here when you feel it, just get you some sandpaper, maybe some 600 or something, and cut down the, just to cut the little peaks off of that roughness. See, like that guy right there, you want to resist pulling on that. You can just cut it off later. It's got a little piece sticking up. And you can see up here where it kind of bled through already a little bit, and that's okay, because I'm going to come on the outside anyway and do that to get it to kind of go through there. I'm going to be putting a piece on the outside as well to kind of build that up a little bit. And when you thin this stuff out, it'll increase your work time a little bit. But I would say about 20 minutes is probably going to be your best safe bet on how long you're going to have before it starts to gel. And I should have had these already all cut up, but shit, the little serrated teeth get caught in there when you try to slide it forward. Try to be careful and not check that weave all up. So I got those two. And again, I'm not going to try to stick one big piece in there, because I know how it's gonna turn out bad for me, because it's such a small area to try and get that all through there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the weave on the end of that and see what happens. I usually don't, but let's see what happens. Damn it. There we go. This should give it plenty of strength, and I don't have to worry about it. I mean, as long as I don't cook it like I did last time, of course. And then this last section will go right in where the majority of the damage was. I know you guys can't see with my head in the way. Sorry about that. I'll try to keep myself out of the way here. Okay, that looks like it's completely wetted out. I'll bring it up so you guys can get a look in there. But that's basically the reinforcement right around where the mounting point is, and it's just a weird mounting point because you know, this muffler doesn't go on this bike, but that's okay. So we'll call that done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wet this out. This is where all the epoxy just kind of got cooked out. From the heat. And it's going to get sanded down later anyway, but right here it's super thin, so I'm going to give it one extra coat here all by itself. And I have already wiped it down, degreased it. So you guys can see right there, I'm just going to leave it a little bit high right there and try to set it where it'll just sit right in there like that, and then it'll gel up right there. That way I can sand it down smooth. And I'm going to do this one more time. And I'm going to throw this brush away. But that's pretty much where it's going to set until that gels up. I'll throw that away, clean up, and I'll bring you guys back after I've sanded this back down. And I'm going to do it with probably a 420, I think is what I got, because all I want to do is smooth that back down. It's okay to get a little bit of running right now. It's not going to hurt anything because you're going to sand it off later, or I am, not you. But that'll help kind of build that up where it got really damaged. So I will let that sit and I'll bring you guys back. Probably going to be tomorrow, but we'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so we left that cure overnight, and it definitely has its structural rigidity back. That's good. And you see runs and stuff, you know, all in here, and that's fine. It's all gonna be sanded back out. So now that it's the inside's nice and strong too, it's smooth, nothing, you know, I might sand it a little bit, but nothing should snag on that. I thought about recovering the whole thing because, you know, this is the, what do you call it, the pattern. Pattern doesn't match, but again, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I got other shit to worry about, you know, other projects that are on the freaking back burner. I don't have time to, I mean, I won't say I don't have time. I just don't want to screw with this. I want to ride. I don't want to be, you know, dicking around with this for 5 or 6 days. I want to friggin' ride. You know, on my downtime when I'm not working on my other projects. I don't want to be working on the bike. I know sometimes you got to, and it is what it is, but this is not really important enough to worry about. So now I'm gonna, I didn't want to, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove this band back here and completely take this out, because I don't want to have to work around this. So I got to cut these, to drill these stainless rivets out. They're pretty tough. I hate doing it, but it's going to make it a lot easier to work on this. Then I'm going to sand it all back. I'm going to sand this back down smooth, kind of blend in these edges right here. Give this a quick sanding, kind of all the way around, just to kind of roughen it up a little bit. And then I'm going to degrease the hell out of it. And I'm going to use lacquer thinner. Then I'm going to use degreaser. You can see the fisheyeing right here. It's got like some fisheyeing where the epoxy kind of didn't want to stick. That's where it's got wax or something on it, and I'm going to have to get that off. Otherwise, the epoxy is not going to stick to that. It's going to fisheye like that right there. And that's just, you know, it's going to look absolutely like dog shit. And it's not going to look the best anyway, but I don't want it to look like dog shit. Excuse my language. Anyway, I'll get this sanded down. I'll get this taken apart. I'll get this taken apart. Get this taken down and give it a quick sanding. Smooth this out, and I'll bring you guys back so you don't have to sit through that. So I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys one of these. I had to put it on the floor because I don't have, you know, a left hand to hold this down. You can't put any weight on this tube. It'll crunch. I mean, it's tough stuff, but you don't want to put weight on it because it will collapse. But you can see these the rivets right here. They are stainless. So all you got to do is go slowly. The what do you call it? The drill bit. You got to find you one that's has enough diameter to cut this head off and leave that small little bit in. Then you can punch it in later. But once you get down to the point where this guy's ready to let go, it'll just break off. And you want to drill slow. If you drill really fast, you'll just build up a bunch of heat. These are stainless. That is stainless. I'm not sure if that's titanium. It kind of looks like and acts like titanium. But if you go real fast, you'll build up a lot of heat in your drill bit. And you'll just take the edge right off of it. And then you got to sharpen it or buy another one. And you don't want to use lubricants or oil because you don't want to get that crap all over your carbon. You'll never get it out because it's a weave, and it'll be contaminated pretty much permanently. See how that just let go? The only thing that's left is the shaft of the rivet now, and then you'll just take a little punch and a hammer, give that a smack in, and it'll go right in. And be careful with these rivets. They can be a little bit hot sometimes. So I'll show you guys one more. right in the middle. You can just put the drill on the lower speed. You don't need all the speed. It'll center itself, little pressure, and then just let the drill bit eat and do its job instead of trying to force it through. And sometimes it helps to rock the drill bit around just a little bit like this. I don't mean like that. And just rock it a little bit side to side, front to back, and it helps it cut faster. Especially if your bit is a little dull. But if it's sharp, you shouldn't need to do that. See, pretty quick. And those do get really hot when they come off, so don't just grab a hold of it. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys a couple of those and how you get that off. So I'll bring you guys back once I got this taken apart and sanded down and give you a look at it. Small tip for you guys. Some of these rivets, they're in there, and what happens is they hang on, they swell up in the middle, they expand, so they grab really tight, and they expand inside of these holes when you cut them off, or when you cut down, you know, to the base of it when the little head pops off. And what I use, because I obviously can't hold a chisel and hit it with a hammer, is I use one of these little an automatic center hole punch. A couple of whacks with that, and they pop right through. So a little bit easier for you guys that maybe struggle like I do. And you can see on this one, you need to be careful. The drill bit, at the last second, it kind of broke through the little head, and it went and caught inside the band and kind of opened it up a little bit and drilled into the band, which not a big deal. It's still usable. I just, you know, cut that off with a Dremel and flatten it back out with a hammer, and you won't be able to see it. But be careful, because you can really, you know, mangle these pretty easily. So just wanted to show you guys that little shortcut to getting that done. And I'm going to go ahead and do the sanding now, and then I'll bring you guys back for that. Okay, guys. Let me pause here. I've sanded it down. I mean, you can see right here that you know, it's not going to be completely even, right? It's going to have these little, you know, pits and stuff. But when I do the last clear coat, you're not going to be able to see too much of that once the pipe's mounted. I mean, I wasn't trying to make this beautiful again. The clamp, the mounting clamp, is going to go over around this side right here, so you're not going to be able to see the patch. And the majority, I'd say, you know, 85 to 90% of the pipe is good, that the uncovered part is going to be, you know, pretty slick again. I'm going to try to do it instead of brushing it on. I used to paint cars and bikes, but I've never tried to spray with epoxy. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna do some practices first, like on a cardboard panel or something like that, just to kind of get my flow settings and my air pressure right. But I'm gonna thin it out to about the consistency of clear coat with some lacquer thinner, and I'm gonna, you know, put it on a piece of wood or something so I can rotate it, and I'm gonna hit it with some clear coat the same way that I would what do you call it, a car, the final clear coat. And I gotta do a little more sanding right here, but I'm gonna do it the same way that I would a car, and I'm gonna see what happens. You know, down here where it's got these high and low spots, I'm going to set it up like on a, maybe on a rotisserie or something, to slowly spin it so that I can spray it a little heavy right here, a little wet, and it'll kind of fill in these low spots as it's spinning, and it shouldn't get sags in it as long as it's spinning at a proper speed, you know, slowly, so the sags don't have time to run in any particular direction. But I don't know if I'm going to try that yet. I'm going to do this first, and I can't go really crazy on the clear coat, because if it gets on too thick on the outside, these bands, when you wrap them back around, they won't line up on these holes anymore. And you wouldn't think that, you know, a coat of clear coat, you know, added to the diameter of this would make that much of a difference, but that stuff's really thick and it goes on really thick. So, you know, I can't go crazy. I'm going to have, you know, I guess basically one shot. And what I'm thinking about doing is filling this in with a brush again, with lacquer, with you know, the epoxy, without thinning it out, so it'll get into these low spots, and kind of try to fill some of these low spots again. Give it one more sanding so that it comes out, you know, more even, you know, more flush, because it's got a little bit of a raised area right here where it, you know, where I've got this extra band to reinforce it. So I'm thinking maybe if I can get some of that in there, I can reinforce it a little bit. I'm not reinforce it, but fill some of these and get some of these, you know, low spots out that look really crappy. And if I can do that, I'll get it, you know, somewhat even. I'm not going to get that one out. That's, you know, it deformed from the heat. I'm not going to be able to get that out. I mean, I probably could if I did, you know, layer after layer after layer, sand it level, add another layer, sand it level, add another layer, blah, blah, blah. You could get that out, but I'm not trying to go that crazy. If I can just get these little bandings out on the sides and these other low spots that look really, you know, like that right there, I don't want to have to dig those out with the sander. So I'm going to put one more coat of the Total Boat 2-to-1 epoxy on there. Let that dry, and that's probably going to be it for today. Again, it's kind of tedious. You have to wait for the stuff to completely cure before you can go and sand it. According to this, it doesn't really have a time when you can sand it or kind of mess with it, but I mean, I would guess, I mean, minimum 8 hours till it completely. So I'm just going to leave it overnight. And I guess this is as far as I got today, guys. Just, you know, it's tedious trying to, when you work with epoxy and stuff, you just have to hurry up and wait. So see you guys tomorrow. Okay, guys, before I call it a day, before it's even started, actually, I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys. Just I'm putting this last layer on. This has been in the pot for about, I mixed it 2-to-1, and it's been in there for about 8 minutes. It's starting to warm up a little bit, so it's starting to kick off. It's starting to thick up to about maybe maple syrup, or a little bit thicker than that, or pancake syrup. It's definitely thicker than milk. You don't want to wait too long, but I like to wait till right where it kind of starts to warm up a little bit and thicken up, because it tends to not run as much at that point. And then I'm just going around here and dabbing this in again. And this will fill in those little low spots that I've got left there, kind of on the sides of these. And this is not easy with one freaking hand. If you do that, that'll dab it into those little holes, those little crevices, where it's gonna kind of want to, it's not gonna want to go in there. Just do a little bit of that, and it'll go in there a little easier. sucks with one hand. You got to be really careful not to put too much pressure on it when you're trying to get it to go in, to set down. Otherwise you'll knock the whole damn thing over, which you don't want to do at this point. And what I'm doing here is I can see the little bubbles that are left over from where I sanded, and there's a piece of trash from the damn brush. Be careful for the little bristles that come out of the brush. And it's got little pock marks in it. And when doing this, forces the epoxy down into those little bitty holes so that you can't see them. Fills them out and makes them clear again. So you can see I'm getting a little bit of a run over here. That's okay. This is going to be sanded back out again. And I should have mixed maybe 2 grams instead of 10. Damn it. And there is another piece of trash. A bristle from the brush. Again, I know this isn't perfection, but if I can dig this crap out, I will. There. I can see a little divot mark where the epoxy didn't go in, right there. There. So now, the fun part. I didn't set up a rotisserie. Now normally what I would do is set up a drill that would kind of slowly turn this, and I didn't do it this time. Let me see if I can set something up real quick, guys, before this starts to set. And I'll bring you guys back if I can get it. Hold on. Alright, guys. This is kind of ridiculous, but it works. I found a damn piece of wood to use as a rotisserie, and it's, as you can see, it's extremely crooked, but I put it in the drill, stuck it in there, and it's just kind of rotating it so that the epoxy doesn't run in any one direction. So I'm just going to leave it like that until the battery goes dead or the epoxy completely gels up and hardens. And so this actually will be the last shot till tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, guys, so instead of doing the epoxy, I chickened out because I've never sprayed epoxy before. So I decided to stick with what I knew, and I was going to go buy some, and then my son reminded me that I still have some this chroma-based panel repair stuff, 4-to-1. So I mixed up 100 grams, and I'm going to hit it with the clear coat and see what happens, and I'll show you guys in a bit. Okay, guys, so we did. I went ahead and used the clear coat that I had there. It's 4-to-1 mix. You can see in order to get this like really, really nice and smooth, I would have to sand that probably 2 or 3 times to get it to look like glass, and it is doable, but I'm just not doing, that's not what I'm doing this for. You can see the band there for the repair. You can see the kind of like the dark spots in it where it's got stains in it from the sun, you know, what's it called, from fading from the sun and stuff like that. And it's got some, you can see like, it's not, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's, yeah, there's a little speck of fisheye right there. And I forgot that when I first got this pipe, I tried to polish it out, and it looked better. But the problem is that, you know, waxes I used to buff this out. I mean, they're waxes, and they get into that weave. And when I did that, I pretty much guaranteed that fisheye was going to be the outcome that I got. You know, if I tried to do something like this, so I'm not going to worry about it. If I want it to look pretty, then I will buy a piece of carbon fiber, straighten it all out, and I'll rewrap the whole thing with a complete, you know, 2x2 twill weave, and you know, do it all over again. That'll be the only way to, you know, to make it look brand new and, you know, pretty again. But this will work, so I'm not going to sweat it. You can even see the dark spot where the Akrapovic sticker was there. It's got a dark spot in it where it's not faded. There's nothing I can do about that. But I put one, you know, one medium coat on it, let it flash for 10 minutes, and then I put a really, really heavy coat on it, and it flowed out okay. But like I said, it would probably take 2 or 3 more coats and some wet sanding in between to level it out, to not see that that pattern. But I'm not worried about it anyway. When I get it put back together and get the rivets here and packed, I'll bring you guys back so you can see how this goes. Alright guys, so we're back next morning. I let it cure overnight. That other 2x2 12 weave looks really good under there. Honestly, I mean, I was gonna cut this and then re-clear it again to see if I could get it better, but you guys can see, I mean, I'd say it's about a 15-20 footer. It's covered behind the luggage bags 90% of the time anyway. I've decided I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to live with it. If I can come across another can, these are off of the, this is an Akrapovic off of the first gen R6. I don't know if you guys remember those long cans that came on those bikes back then. But it's getting harder and harder to find cans like this, mufflers, I call them cans, to find mufflers like this, you know, slip-ons. And on eBay there, I got this for 146. Had a little bit of damage up here, some scratches, but all in all, it was in, you know, 99% shape. But it was really faded, and, you know, the epoxy was really worn down. You could feel the weave. But now they're up to, you know, $250, $300 if you can find one. It's just insane. But if I can find another one, I'll find another one, and I'll make that one pretty, you know, if this fails. But I mean, this is structurally sound again. I don't know where I'm going to find another you know, Akrapovic sticker or emblem. These are the old ones. I don't know if I can save this. I don't know if it's worth saving. If anybody knows where I can get one this size, this is a really big one. Hold on a second. I was able to find the smaller ones. They come on the new stuff, but this thing is about 7.5, 8 inches long, give or take. And I wish I could find another one. But you know, I had to take it off to do this work, and the only thing I could think now is to I have some 3M double-sided tape, that really thin stuff, is to, you know, just kind of try to get as much of this off of the back with lacquer thinner as I can. And then, I mean, it's all wrinkled as shit, as you can see, but I could probably get it to go back on there. And this is foil, this is metal with, you know, printed on the other side. But if anybody knows where I can find one, you know, maybe, you know, get me in one of the comments or something. I haven't been able to find them, but anyway, I'm gonna put this back together, and let me get my stuff together. I'm gonna pause here real quick, and I'm gonna see if I can find some gloves, because that fiber stuff is itchy as hell, man. I was itching last night when I took a shower. It was freaking really bad. But let me pause you guys for a second here. All right, guys. So let's see how much struggling I do here. My plan is to put this in, use the rope, wrap it around as I go up, and then I'll slide the can in from over here, and as it goes down, I'll take the rope off. This is not the right stuff for this, because it doesn't go wrap all the way around. Ideally, this should wrap around at least once, but it doesn't. I wasn't paying attention to what I freaking bought. So now I'm just gonna have to make do with it. It does make a complete turn, so I think it'll be okay. But I don't know if you guys are messed with this stuff before. Not a complete turn, but you know, enough that it should stay sealed. Because if it doesn't, it's gonna come through. I don't know if I should use this. God damn it. Alright guys, I know I shouldn't do this, but because this doesn't wrap all the way around, I'm pretty sure the heat's going to escape in the seam right here. It's going to cook the can anyway, but I'm going to give it a shot, because I already got it here, so what the hell. Now I gotta try to, you know what, better, so I don't have to tie a knot in this, which is damn near impossible, and I'm not putting my face anywhere near that shit to grab a hold of it to the other end to tie that damn knot. Oh, this sucks. This stuff is going through the damn glove, man. It might work. It's got enough of an overlap that if it fits tight in the can, which it's looking like it will. It should stay sealed and not cook the can. And I won't be using a silencer on the end, so the muffler should never actually become, you know, pressurized. I do have another little catalytic converter that goes in here to help with the sound. It's got two small ones in it. I'm mostly using them for a little bit of sound attenuation, because you know, people that are in their campers on state parks and shit like that, they don't want to hear loud ass fucking bikes, and you know, 25-year-old me wouldn't have given a shit. I guess I just got old. Started caring about pissing other people off, especially when people just, you know, trying to have their damn peace and enjoy a little bit of nature. Last thing they want to hear is a loud ass fucking bike, which I like loud bikes, but I'm sure not everyone shares that sentiment. Damn it. Alright, let me pause and figure out what my next move is here, guys. Okay, so I found another piece of rope, guys. Just attached it to the end of that one. Damn it. I rubbed my arm on it. Shit. It's gonna itch like hell now. Now I need to get me a little bit of a guess. That's gonna have to slide down some more because it's not all the way down in here. But I'll figure that out in a minute. Give it a couple of smacks and it'll go down. Damn it. It is humid out here. Damn. Okay. So you guys are sitting over there by yourselves. Over here, putting the put the end back in the can, line it up with the damn holes. Bring you guys back over here. This can over here is the back end, right? Trying to put, line that back up with the holes. And the back end of this can was really hard to get in, or to get out, I'm sorry. And you have to kind of shove it back in there, make sure the holes are lined up where the damn rivets aren't gonna line up. Okay, the holes are lined up pretty close, so we get a rubber mallet. I don't want to push and then go past it. There we go. Missed it, and they're still a little bit off, man. Damn it. Hair, maybe a 16th, but I think that'll work. So we pause you guys again and put a towel down here. All right, guys. So I had to take this out again and line it back up. That way the rivets would actually go in. They wouldn't go in, and I don't want to wallow these holes out just so that the rivets will fit. Just going to make more of a mess. And weaken the whole thing just a little bit more. So the next time I go to do this, it's guaranteed for something to go friggin' wrong. Like that. It's probably a little bit too big or long on the end, but all I got now is these other ones, and I don't have enough of them. But that's actually the perfect one right there. Oh well, I'll just have to order some more. Okay. Alright guys, so that's not it. I did mark these so that they go back in the same place. They're drilled, you know, they actually match. If you try to put this on that side, this side, or back around this way, it won't work. I mean, you could make it work. I won't say it won't work. You can make it work. They won't line up properly. So, again, you guys would bear with me. One hand and all, it's kind of a pain in the ass. There we go. I usually got to start with one. That might be too big. No, that's the right one. Shove it down on there. Be sure it's completely seated as far as you can go, or you know, to push it down completely flat, and then you just give her a yank, which I probably shouldn't have done that until I got all of these in. That way I can be sure that they're all going to go in. Sometimes they won't, but you can't always kind of do things, you know, the way. See, it's already fighting me a little bit. I shouldn't have. I should have clamped that down. Okay, there you go. You need to get them all in because you got a little bit extra diameter from the clear coat. You go around. You're gonna have to order some more of these. And there. Making sure you guys can see me. I'm not, damn it. That's the little hole that I screwed up. Take a little pair of vice grips. I'm just gonna take that little bit of, that little booger it's got on there. Take it off. It'll be fine. Unless you're a perfectionist, then you can, you know, hammer it out and oh, there, one of the pins just fell out. There we go. This is the one that's going to be a challenge. Because of the extra diameter. Hoping it won't be too bad. Just kind of sucks with one hand. Get it lined up there. And you'll have to kind of catch it at an angle. So you can see the extra diameter that it got from just the clear coat. Won't let it line up by about a little bit more than 16. So I'm going to see if I can a little bit bigger. Get it to, put a screwdriver in there, kind of get it to line up, stretch it around a little bit. I might have to wait for my son getting off of work, and so it goes all the way in. Son of
She's so nice.
Yeah, I might have to drill that out, guys. But I got it lined up pretty good. So I got that lined up, so I'm gonna go ahead and get down there. You sorry. Oh, I know why that won't go all the way down. It's got that little booger on it. It's all right. It'll pull it back down. So there's that one. Let it go, man. Whatever. Now we can go to this guy here. Fuckers are no joke. I just put the towel down there so that this can wouldn't get more chewed up than it already is. There we go. Here's that one. These rivets really are handy, man. Fall on the floor, you bastard. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be able to see if I can force it in there. Never a good idea to just force it in there, but it might go. Yeah, it went all the way down. What do you know? And there we go, guys. One can back on the end. Got the alignment marks back where they're supposed to be. Got the end back on it. It's on the right side, angled down. Sticker was right here. So now I need to go back over there and mess with that itchy crap with that BS. And I need to measure. Alright guys, so that's on there. I got the can on the end. Now I'm gonna... ¿Qué tal? Oh. Órale.
De llagas o algo lo que necesite.
¿Está bien? Gracias.
Sí.
That was the next door handyman guy giving me his card. So by smacking it down like that, what I did is I forced it to slide down into here, because you know the packing actually starts down there, so that needs to go down as far as you can get it, and it's definitely going down in there if you guys can see that. And that is what I want. Otherwise, it's the exhaust comes through here, snakes its way around through the honeycomb you see right here. It'll snake its way around and start hitting this on the side, and it'll start burning through it. I only know that because the last packing I took out, one side was completely burned out. See, hey, it came up probably about an inch. It's always good. So, yeah, it should be packed in there pretty good now. I'm just going to give it a couple more. and that's also gonna shove it down and kind of fatten it out like this. So when I slide the can on, that should push everything kind of around like this as well. So now I'm gonna go out of the picture for a second here. I'm gonna bring a can, and I know that it needs to go all the way to the end of the can. Nasty out here. So that's the end, right? And I want this to compress a little bit. I want to have to force it down so that we get a little compression. I can always cut some out if it doesn't want to go, but it's definitely gonna compress some more. It's just the nature of the spongy stuff. So I'm going to give it, it looks like about 3/4 of an inch extra. And I might give it a little bit more because it'll compress. You can shove down really hard and it'll compress the hell out of it. It won't compress this much, but it'll go quite a bit. So these are Kevlar shears for cutting carbon fiber, Kevlar fabric. Looks good on this too. Don't worry about it. Trash. You get in there, so it'll get burned off. If it does, get it out next time to replace this. I wasn't about to try to put a ruler on that, make a damn straight line. I want to touch this shit as little as possible. This stuff is horrible, man. Trying to get a little crap on me as possible. Okay. Alright guys, let's see. Let's stand this up. Look at the camera. Make sure you guys can actually see what the hell I'm doing. But I gotta go a little bit more up. There we go. Man, having my damn head hung over like that make me freaking dizzy. Alright, get the can. I don't want to do this on the table because this shit goes everywhere. And I want a little of this crap flying around. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, guys. This shit genuinely takes 2 hands. And you don't want to smash it in too much. Because when it goes in, it's going to hit the little socket on the end over here. It ain't going to want to go in for you. Down there at the end, because that shit's in the way. Oh crap, hold on. Hold on. I don't remember. Let's see. This was the hot side. That was on the inside, I believe, wasn't it? Shit. I'm pretty sure that was on the inside. Because this could go, you know, 180 degrees in the other direction. What a pain in the ass. Come on, you fucker. Okay. Push it in on the back, squeeze it in so it doesn't bunch up. Keep pushing it in, keep feeding it down. And hopefully I got this on the right side. If not, I'm gonna have to pull it back out. You can see we're shaving off little bits on the back. Don't go too crazy. Shoving it down, you'll get. See right here, it likes to bunch up. So you just be sure you push it in and then feed it a little bit more. It's definitely going in snug. Damn it, I'm breathing right into the microphone, guys. A microphone breather. Yeah, there you go, bitch. Just don't drop the can like I almost did right there. See how it fattened up down here from smacking it down? God, I hope this is the right side. I might have got lucky. Should have been paying more attention before I shoved this son of a bitch on there. Take this guy out. I've never actually used this method. I didn't know if it was going to work. Keep shoving it in like that, otherwise you'll just shave it off as you're going in, but you don't want it to cut too much of that crap off. God, I hope it lines up. And of course you can see it's kind of a little cattywampus that way. You're gonna have to put it on something and shove it back over. I'm gonna go back to the table, guys. I'll bring you over just a second. Sorry for all the movement. Let me lower the volume on that. I don't know if I'm committing copyright infringement. I hope not. Definitely not intentional. So now I'm just gonna, oh crap. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, God. Small miracles. Got my glove caught in there. And that's really hard to push in. So, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to force it to go down. Oh. What the hell was that? I think it was just a piece of the, it actually feels like it's stuck. You know what it might be? A piece of carbon fiber. Yeah, fix that. There's a little piece of carbon from okay guys, the holes are not exactly lined up. And there's no way that I'm going to be able to twist that. So I'm going to see. That helped a little. Oh yeah, that did. That's fine. So I just stick the screwdriver in, give it a little bit of a twist, and that gives it a little bit of a spin. And the holes are perfectly lined up now. And that is much heavier than it was before. So, man, my gloves are full of that shit. Damn it. Oh man, I can't believe I actually got it on the right side the first try. I thought for sure I was going to screw that up when I had it halfway on, but I guess we're okay. This one is also marked. And this can actually didn't slide over. Where is it? The pipe. It wasn't the right size, and instead of making adapters, I just used a piece of shim, 15 thousandths, and it goes in nice and snug now. I just, you know, used a torch to form it. It used to have a little hook that went over, but I don't know where it kind of got shoved in. And the spacer was actually on the pipe like that. So the hook is actually inside there. Won't come out anymore, so I just leave it alone. As long as it doesn't leak, it's fine. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just a damn cheapskate, but I just don't think a damn exhaust should, you know, a muffler and a half pipe should cost $800. That's absolutely freaking ridiculous, man. Oh, yeah, it's so ridiculous that my son and I actually made our own exhaust. There's two sides to that. My son and I actually made the exhaust. We fabricated it for my V4. Might have to blur that out. Although I don't know why. I mean, we all know there's no dishonest people out there, so at any rate, that's how much of a cheapskate I am, I guess. I might have enough rivets after all. Oh, you mother. Bullshit. That's what I get for having one damn hand. I don't know if I should put in, I don't know if I should clamp down on that for fear of the rest of them not lining up, because they're already lining up kind of tight. Get in there, motherfucker. Excuse me. I don't think I'll bleed that out. And I think I might have just enough. There's that one. There's that one. think I will go ahead and clamp this one down and bring all the slack around to the other side. Should pop on this one. Damn it. Sure seems like some of those are tougher than others. Now, gonna see if I can get away with doing that same thing over here without having to drill anything. I expect not. Hey, just in time. I'm gonna have to drill that one out a little bit. The other one actually went down. It didn't go all the way around.
What?
The damn wrap. I thought it was one continuous piece. Look, they sent me sections. It's got about this much overlap. So I'm pretty sure I tried to, you know, squeeze it and pull it around. I used a rope to get a little bit of an overlap, but it's not like wrap. It wasn't. And that's what I would have liked, but I guess if it starts to burn through or discolor, then I'm just gonna have to take it apart again. Put some new packing in it. You know, find one that wraps all the way around. Yeah. Oh. Did it scratch it, Davey?
I think it went above the wall.
This one. Okay. This one I'm probably gonna have to drill it. See?
You might be able to get it in there. How big is it? No? Is it bigger than I think? Which one's?
Try to hold on to it. That might be filming. Yeah, it's already. Yeah, I'm gonna have to drill it. Oh, son of a bitch.
Which ones do you use?
If I use a smaller one, I guess it'd probably work, but I don't know if a smaller one's gonna grab.
Is that not it?
No, it's this one.
No.
Yeah, that one.
The fatter one.
Which is exactly the right size. Let me see. I mean, I guess I could try it. So I don't have to. Let me try it.
You've tried this already? Wouldn't?
I tried it. No, it's
It just looked. The hole looks bigger than.
no. That ain't gonna
Okay,
go.
not quite as big as I thought.
Okay.
It just barely fucking.
Yeah. Let me.
The hole in the muffler in the can is big enough. It just.
Yeah, it's just though because of the extra diameter from the clear coat. That's what's doing it. Rooster. What the hell did I give it a drill? So this one's not gonna.
You can do this.
Yeah, this one's not gonna work the way the other one I got lucky. This one I'm gonna have to drill it out. Can you hold it down?
Both of them?
Yep. That's why I didn't want to do that, but
Over here.
it's all good. Screw it. There you go. Right there. And that's it. We got a muffler, guys. Like I said, if anybody knows where, a lot heavier than it was. If anybody knows where I can find another one of those big ass Krapovich stickers, let me know. I doubt I'll be able to find it because they don't make them anymore. Anyway, let me get this put together and I'll show you guys what's left over here. Okay, guys, took the glove off. Getting this in with one hand again. Hate to sound like I'm complaining so much, but man, what a pain in the ass. Anyway, got that in there. This is the piece I was telling you guys about. It used to have a little silencer on the end here. I cut it off, and they have these that are just like for sound. This one actually has a little bit of a coating on it for like catalytic converter, and I would say it's BS, but you can actually smell the difference in the exhaust. It doesn't smell like raw gasoline when you got that in there. And it actually has one catalytic converter, or the smaller one, down in there, plus this one. And so I gotta slip this guy on here. The spring, the spring pressure pinches that in place in there so that that doesn't rattle around. Sorry for getting in the way here, guys. Just a second. Top one doesn't have tons of tension, but the other one does. The bottom one has the majority of the tension. And I didn't bother reinforcing this piece, the carbon. I just ordered another one. It's on the way. There's supposed to be a little piece of rubber on here. Hold on one second. I'm not even going to worry about it. This can's not going to win a beauty contest anyway. So there. This can barely clears in here, guys. So yeah, it wasn't made for this bike. I just spent a couple of weeks trying to figure out what fits, what doesn't. That extra diameter is nice on there from the repair. Now it actually grabs a hold of it. Before it kind of didn't grab it, but now it's got a firm hold of it. Oh yeah, much better. Now I just got to tighten up down here. the wrench. That buzzing sound is a bee somewhere around here. Piss off, you little bastard. That's nice and snug. Oh yeah, much better.